SWOCC and Beyond presentation. It's an honor to be here and to represent Southwestern Oregon Community College. If you're new to the building, there are ladies' restrooms just out this door. The men's is right around the side. We have drinks, coffee, and popcorn has just come in, as well as tea that we can provide for you if you'd like. Really just ask and we'll see what we can get for you. It's a pleasure tonight to be able to introduce Al Collinet. Al and I just met maybe a month or so ago. I've been very impressed by his knowledge of the local terrain, and I'm really quite excited to be able to join. He's got some handouts, and if you need any information on upcoming hikes, we'll be happy to give you any information that we can.
To get out on the trail with you folks. I love the first 20 feet going on any trail because I've left the cars behind and we're interfacing the wilderness. And there's always something to see. And sometimes you have to walk a long way before you see really exciting things. But what fun it is to do it. Oh, by golly, what else does it do for you? It's good for your heart. You don't want to overdo it, but you do want to do it. Otherwise, you're going to have a, slower life. As you get old, there'll be plenty of time to sit on the sofa and watch the tube or your phone. The real world is where it's at, and it's going to be exciting. I don't know how much you know about hiking. I'm assuming you're brand new to hiking, but in reality, many of you do hiking all the time, and are in pretty good shape. My hikes that I lead, I tell you how far, I tell you what the elevation gain is, I give you an idea whether it's an all-day or short day. So we try to accommodate people who aren't as physically able to keep up, and we try to challenge some of the goers. So it depends upon the ones that don't always come, and if you're not happy to go, you can come on some of them. So today, I'm going to spend some time talking about who to go with, why you want to go, where you're going to go. Yes, we'll have some handouts on where you can get more information on hikes. No, you don't have to go with me. You can go out hiking without me. That's what it's so neat about it. I just love hiking. Walking is just great. Go out to Chetco Point sometime. What a great little walk that is. Right here in town. So don't feel like you owe me anything. Just get out there. That'll make me happy. The trails in Curry County are going away. And the reason why they're going away is because people are not getting out and walking on it. And I want to encourage you to get out on all the trails. We rarely see anybody in the mountains. You see lots of them in Samuel Boardman, of course. In the mountains, I don't see too many people at all. Unless we go in hunting season, then we see hunting. So it's like your own private wilderness here. And it's so exciting. We're going to move along pretty quickly on this. Now that you're interested and ready and enthused, here's the tough part, the 10 essentials. The first thing you're going to say is, oh, that's a really long list. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it today, but I encourage you to ask yourself what you carry, and it's appropriate, where you're going, what you take. If you're going to do Samuel Boardman, where you're between the ocean and Highway 101, you're not in really serious trouble. All you got to do is go uphill, and you'll get to the road and civilization. But if you've spent 2 hours driving on these back roads, and you get lost up there, you can really get in trouble. Because cell phones are spotty, and people get confused. So that's a good one to go with people that have done it before. But it is tremendously fun, and these 10 essentials are important because it'll make your life happy. Navigation, you see the topographical map I have there? As soon as we're done with this, we're going to go over that topographical map. Sun protection. I don't need to tell you about sunglasses, sunscreen, insulation. I always take a windbreaker with me. And of course, before I go on a day hike, I've got to know what the weather is. So I'm going to know whether I'm going to take a big heavy-duty raincoat or not. The rest of the time, I carry one of these 50-cent ponchos, disposable ponchos, in my pack, just in case we're out there and we get a sudden downpour. And it has happened twice. So those in 15 years, it's not really long. Illumination. If you're going on a day hike, you don't think about it till you get dark. On some of our roads, somebody could have a flat tire. Somebody's a little late on the trail because they hurt their ankle or something. It takes an extra hour or two to get out. A little illumination is there. First aid supplies and insect repellent. If you're going down to Lake Earl, insect repellent is very important because they've got standing water down there. It's very dry. Most of the other places are not a problem. And we've done. Let's move back. I take a knife. Some people take multi-tools. I think Fred probably takes multi-tools. It's got a screwdriver on there and all that other good stuff. You've got to make your own decisions. This gets a little carried away on some of the things that they're talking about. Hydration. Who's going to carry 2 extra liters of water?
No way.
Probably nobody. But when I go in the backcountry, I always take some extra water in the car because afterwards, of course, there's a source of good clean water because you're probably going to need it in that case. Emergency shelter. I take a space blanket, and since I'm involved with first aid, I also take a pad in case somebody goes into shock or something. You can insulate them from the ground and other things. But basically, you want to make sure you don't overload what you take. Now, if you go with other people, they can have things that can help you. Not a major problem. I'm not going to spend much more time on that. I'm going to move right along to navigation. And everybody looks at the topographical map. And they get freaked out by it. It's a little thing down here at the bottom that says MN. And another one that says TN. Well, TN is true north, and MN is magnetic north. And your compasses, you set it up so that it points straight to north. You set it like this, and then you twist your map until the arrow points to the north, and you'll have it oriented. Now, if you look on there, it says 15.5 degrees. The magnetic north has been moving rapidly in the last 10 years, so the real number is only 14.5 degrees. Very hard for you to find a degree on a compass like this that is 360. So this map will work for you if you want to orient the map so you can figure out where you're going. Now, this is a map that shows the red is normally the trails, but in this case we've got the wild and scenic rivers coming in here. This is in the Redwood National Forest. And this is the Boy Scout Trail. I did it in blue so you can see the difference. And this is the trail. And as a practice for people who want to learn a little bit more about it, we're going to take these, we'll have these maps available when we take this little trip. And we'll be able to show you some key spots and how to work with it. It's not as scary as you thought. You can look on the map and you can say, oh, there's a 40-foot elevation gain between the lines. That's so you can get a sense of the up and down. Now, if you'll take that map and turn it over, you'll see a plotting. This plotting was done by me by hand. It shows you the elevation, starts out at 200 feet, and then you go up to about 500 feet. Then you come down for crossing a creek here, and you go up and down, and this is again down by the creek again, and then you go back. The total length of the trip says 2.5 miles. That's not an accurate measure, it's close. Fred uses a GPS and he always gets more. But it's 5 miles, and then it shows you the elevation gain. So, if it's 619 feet up going that way, coming back, it's going to be about the same thing. So the whole hike is 1,200 feet. Elevation gain is going to go out and back. So that's what we're going to use, and it's a little compass, lining it up, it's the way to do it. So you can take those home, and when we go on that hike, you can bring that along, and we will spend some time working with it.
Now I got a question for you. Now, if you look at that map right there, that's the highest point on this whole chart, right?
That's beyond the trail, yes. And it looks steeper on here than it really is in real life because of the scales. It's not really that steep. It's about 500 feet up, but it starts at 200 feet, so you're only going 300 feet up. But on a trail, you go up and down, so it's got to add all that up. But it gives you an idea. So if you know that would be too much for you, you wouldn't want to go on that trail. But if you take the Damnation Creek and you go down 1,000 feet and come up 1,000 feet, this is no big deal at all. You can do this. It's a nice, easy trail. It's just fun, and then we'll do some interpretation. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, if there's no more questions, I'm going to quit boring you with that. Now we're going to talk about the pyramid of worry. I can't go out there. There might be snakes or bees.
Bears.
Bears.
Yeah.
I have a picture of a bear. Accidents. This is just 1 year. It was in Time magazine. It says 2008. I can't read it here. Too close. You should be more worried about your heart. In other words, heart disease, probably from sitting on the couch eating Cheetos, not walking, and here you got that with the number of snake bites on that particular, 2 people died. And it's such a low statistic. Most of those people that die are in Arizona, by the way. As you hear. And mostly they're young men who think that they can be faster than a rattlesnake and they'll grab at it and stuff. Really, macho, stupid. But not a big problem. Hiking is not the problem. If you want to know what the problem is, on my hikes, the biggest problem is driving to and from the trail. And that's no lie. That's the way to do it. That's where the danger is. If you look at the motor vehicle accidents, 44,000 people died. So that's the problem.
That's on your hike?
44,000 people died on my hike. They feel like they're dying sometimes, but I don't do those real serious hikes. I just want to do a fun hike. I want you to have fun. I want you to get involved. I want you to give me feedback. That was too long. I want some shorter ones. Fine. I can do short ones. Want longer ones? Fine. Dave wants to go up 199 because it's a really nice paved road and do some of the more interior ones. So Dave's going to get his wish. So I want your input. You can look at the stuff afterwards. Yes?
The Boy Scout hike, how long does it normally take you to go back and forth?
Oh, it's about 4 hours.
It's about 4 hours? Okay, I've done it, and I did it in 4 hours. I'm just wondering.
Well, I answered that question right. No, it was 4.5 hours.
That's
I
fine.
want you to do that. Yeah, it's a very pleasant hike.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just good, comfortable hiking. There's no difficult rocks to climb on and things like that. So it's just a chance to get started. So anyhow, the moral of the story is get out there and hike. You're going to live longer. You're going to beat the heart problems if you stay with it. You don't have to go out on a trail with me. You can walk around the city. I walk around the city 2 to 3 miles just about every day with my dogs. And that keeps me in shape so that I can last on the hikes. So here we go. What I've done is I've accumulated some pictures of some things from the local area. And we just redid this hike a couple weeks ago. And, beautiful hike, 1,000 feet down and 1,000 feet up. And, a lot of people are afraid of 1,000 feet up. I just happen to have a good crew. Fred was on this hike here. As a matter of fact,
6 years.
that's Fred.
Oh, yeah.
That's Fred.
That's me.
Yep. And I think Bill's in front of me, and I think John took a picture. But it was really nice with the sunlight beaming through. And we just did this about 2 weeks ago again with a different group. And it was just beautiful hike, lots of interesting things, amazing number of lake flowers. Okay, here we are crossing the bridge. There he is.
Yeah.
Our hero, right here. There we are looking down at some of the stuff. This big chunk of tree is still there, friend. This is on the Boy Scout Trail. This is one of the redwoods that had fallen down. And I was just horsing around, holding it up so people could walk under it. This is the Boy Scout tree. It's a double tree. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's, your normal redwoods, they're pretty good. This one's with 2 of them next to each other. It's just like a house. This is Enrich's Beach Trail. Enrich's Beach Trail is interesting in that it fell in.
It's what?
It fell in a few years ago. I believe they fixed it now. But this ledge that they were walking on, evidently it slid into the ocean. Well, you've heard of Hooskanad, and surely you know that things slide here. You'll see some more pictures of it. Anyhow, you go, you find out it's closed, don't do it. Do something else. And because the information is tough to get by. Sure, you can call the Forest Service, the rangers. Sometimes they'll know, and sometimes they don't know. But don't be afraid to back off of a dangerous situation. There's a picture from there of Crescent City. This is an osprey. I took this with a 30-power camera in my backyard. I live in Brookings. Just a great pose. I just thought I'd share what you can do just with regular stuff. Okay, this is a hybrid. One of the things about flowers on our coast, it's a very Mediterranean area, and all these invasive species really like it here. So once somebody brings it in, all of a sudden you've got to learn some of these other species. This is one, and it grows up and down the coast. I've seen it up at Hamburg and down in California, so still, it is pretty nice. There's a black-crowned night heron. If you really want to see one, the low tide out on the dike is where they usually are. This was by Chetco Point. Here's Lone Range, right out here. This is from the little plateau on the south end. There were some black oyster catchers on the beach. Once again, a 30-power image stabilization camera. And I picked that up without any other special gear. This, unfortunately, is a little waterfall right here, along there, which is just absolutely beautiful. The yellow is, unfortunately, gorse. And you've probably heard in the newspaper how they're removing gorse off of the rocks right out here, outside of town, in Paris Beach. They need to get this all cleaned out of there, otherwise it's going to turn into all yellow.
They've treated this instead of last.
Yeah. So, hopefully it'll be taken care of.
Is gorse the same thing as saffron?
No. Gorse is so much worse.
Oh.
When you put your hand into gorse and go, ouch, because it's got thorns that'll stick you. Matter of fact, I was in a car once and we parked real close to it, and I got out and I thought, well, that's just no problem. Ouch! So you know. Bandon has been invaded by it, and it's just taken over everything. You don't want to do it, 'cause they gotta take good take care of it,
Where'd it
stewardship.
come back? We'll send it back.
Okay, this is Lone Ranch Creek, this is another little problem, is the state parks has not had the money to repair the bridge. They really ought to. There are people that are going, thinking that there's a bridge there and it's been washed out. Well, they say it's too expensive and, you know, they've got to check out to make sure that the native artifacts aren't messed with and all this other stuff. But this can be dangerous crossing logs. This wasn't a problem with that. I've crossed on tree trunks. One time we drove around it to get through it. And in the old days, we actually used to walk across the bridge.
Little Ranch right now, actually, they put a couple of boards across it, where the bridge used to be a long time ago. So you can actually get across it right now.
Sure.
In the winter, I don't know that that would be the case.
Well, it has to be taken out. They used to have a metal aluminum one across there in the summer that they were going to take it out. And then one year they forgot to take it out and washed out.
And it's that same place where they have the boards now that you can walk across.
Well, you got to check it out. And if
It
you,
was, well, it was just 4 weeks ago that I was
Sure.
there, so.
so if you want to go use it, you have to check it out ahead of time.
Yes.
As it is the case with many places where the slides occur. One part on the north side of China Beach just totally fell down. They had to go back and rebuild the whole trail because it had slid out. But that's the nature of the coast. It's very dynamic. Here we are climbing up on that little plateau. And this is a picture up from Indian Sands looking south at Whale's Head. Bush monkey flower. Now this is a native. And that's its common name, and you'll see a lot of it. This is looking the other direction. That little plateau that we were standing on is over there. And this is Lone Ranch. This is Lone Ranch looking the other way. I like Lone Ranch. Wavy Leaf Silk Castle. People say, oh, there's some silk castle. You can't find the flowers in the summertime. It's because it flowers in the winter. So back up. The trick to learning it, see these wavy leaves? They're always there. I hope to find some this Saturday when we walk by that spot where I know there is some and show you that. It really makes it a lot more fun to be able to identify it. We went along and obviously there was rain. We just kept going. We were prepared for it. And it didn't bother us at all. Here's some people at Whale's Head Point enjoying their day. Pickleballers. A couple of pickleballers in the group. This is up near Indian Sands. This is a little trough area in here. And when the waves come in, this is the kind of effect you get. It's really a dynamic area. Amazing. Here's a waterfall, Indian Sands again. Beautiful spot. Thank you, Dave. And there they are a little closer. You can't see them from the other side because there's a creek there. But here it is right there. Beautiful inlet there. And this is the southern part of Indian Sands right there. Okay.
Usually seals in there too, not a little bay.
Yeah, amazing spot. And here's some sand from, here's some sand from Indian Sands. I didn't show you a lot of it, but there's a bunch behind us here. This is looking north. Here's some people walking along Indian Sands. You can see the rugged nature of the coast. And this is just a little cave right there at Indian Sands. Beautiful. You don't want to get too close to the edge, though. And here's Secret Beach at low tide. Great chance to go out and explore across there. Beautiful spot. Here's the waterfall. Here's the beach again. Here's the hard part of it. It's a steep up this rock. You've got to be sure-footed. So you don't want to try to do that with a cane. And this is a little rock that, to me, looks like a lion's head. Lots of fun out there. This is China Beach. That's Dave and his dog in the back. Once again, it's climbing down rocks. Here's a waterfall up on China Beach. Whoa. Red Cross, you might think this is about birds here, but it isn't. These are just some of the pictures I got with regular cameras by mistake, almost. You'll notice the crossbill on that? That's so that they can get into the seed cones. These birds go in flocks, and you can hear them along the coast. They'll be chattering up in the tops of the trees. Well, the reason why I got this picture is he was in the top of the trees, but we were higher. So I got a good shot at him. I think I had a 20 power camera when I took that picture. But the males are reddish orange, and the females are yellowish. They vary a little bit, but they go in groups of 10, 15, 20. We heard some when we were out the other day. Fascinating stuff that you could be able to see something like that. Here's north of Hooskanabin Creek. And this is the Whiskey Creek right in here. And you see all the way up to the Saddle Island out here, past the Kirk Point. Here's another picture of the same thing. This is Hooskanabin back in here. One year we came up, there was a trail that went straight through. The thing moved down about 30 feet. Just the whole thing. So we had to go back there and redo it. I haven't been back there since this last slide, so I'll bet it's moved quite a bit more. It's constantly moving. Here's the Pistol River State Park. It's pretty nice, short hike. This is the north side of Otter Point. You can see the waterfalls it makes from the, and this is a little cave here. Here's Bailey Beach, which is south of Otter Point. Beautiful
Where is
spot.
Otter Point?
This is north of Gold Beach. I'm just trying to show you stuff along the coast that are easy drive. This is probably 10 minutes past Gold Beach. Beautiful spot. That's it again, looking at it from the north. Here's Chimney Rock. Just amazing how thin this rock is. Well, I didn't know. Looks to me like Darth Vader's head coming through.
Yeah.
Here's Port Orford from Humbug Mountain. Now, Humbug Mountain is really a funny mountain because you get up to the top, you can't see any of the trees. They've just grown up. This is probably the only view.
They actually cleared it off.
They have?
Yeah.
See?
So this summer, I went up there this summer, and they had cleared it, made some nice benches up at the top there, out of some of the trees they took down. It's a beautiful spot to go to.
There you go.
Stop going.
Yeah, I can imagine, but now I'm showing the picture, it is gorgeous.
This is the only view that was about halfway up.
Yeah, and it's the south side, from the Fairhouse spot, you actually south of Humbug Mountain. And it's gorgeous, gorgeous view.
A lot
How
of
long did
big,
it take you?
It is kind of a long one, the elevation
Not too
change
bad.
was kind of the killer on that one. So, you'd want hours, probably 3-4 hours at least. I took a
For a
little
round
picnic
trip.
lunch for round trip, yeah.
It's not terribly steep.
No, I mean, just set your pace correct and you'll be fine.
There's two routes. There's the route up, and you don't have to go back the same way.
Yeah, it kind of
Come back.
goes up and then circle, loop kind of thing, and then come back down. But it's very doable if you do any of these other hikes he's talking about. If you've done Secret Beach down to the beach, that's worse. Down to the beach, then.
that is definitely a very, very steep section. Also, some huge western hemlocks. Okay, this is Volmer's Lily. This gets into my turf back in, away from the coast. And this is in Wet Fens. This is up on top of Vulcan Peak. And you can see the reddish rock is kind of filtered out by some. That's peridotite. That's the stuff from the mantle. It's a class all by itself. It's serpentine rocks. That's peridotite. And that's Vulcan Lake there. And that's Lish Lake there. And this was after the last fire, and you notice the whole basin did not get burned. But if you, the fire, the Checobar fire got in, but all the way up around in here, and along the road, going up to this beautiful spot. This is me.
Tell now.
This is the Calmeopsis luciana, which is not consistent. In other words, you go up there about the 6th of June. Sometimes it's in flower and sometimes it's not. And that year we found it, and it was in great shape. So I have a big picture of that. This is another instance of the challenges of Curry County are the roads can sink. Here's a sinking road. This is Hunter Creek. And the guys are out there discussing it, looking it over, deciding, well, we can't drive down this way. But eventually, Glenn decided he could drive on the shoulder, and he did. He went on an early way. So, here's Pyramid Rock. That's where we were going that day. There used to be a fire tower at the top. So here's the guys putting up a rope so we could climb up and down it. Even Fred's wife went up. Kind of a tricky thing without the rope, but Hunter Creek Bog, beautiful place to visit. Easy place to visit. It's up Hunter Creek Road. Amazing how it could exist in there. It's just such a neat thing. Here's the moonscape on Red Mountain, and it's because the magnesium is big higher than the calcium, so nothing can grow. It looks like it's a dump or somebody just dug it up, but in fact, nothing will grow in there because of the soil type. And that's more for geology than this. If you go with me on say, Vulcan Peak, we'll talk about that. Here's some snow, May 5th, and it doesn't make any difference the age of the participants. Snowball fights are fun. We didn't get real vicious. This is on a hike, also up to Signal Buttes. He's pointing out the blue-eyed berries there. Those are thin-leaf blue-eyed berries. And you can see the redness in the soil. And all the people wearing something to keep the rain off of them. You see people with a one-day use thing. I did the same thing, and by golly, the bottom of my pants got all wet, but I was doing fine. Wasn't expecting. There's a chicory. Not thinking we were there. Here's some common nighthawk eggs. They just lay them on rocks. Just amazing. And if you were to walk by that 5 feet away, you would not see those. Fortunately, we had somebody that was able to do that. And the male has a diving display similar to hummingbirds while they go down, and when he gets down the bottom, his tail feathers make a whoosh. And we actually saw some doing that up there because it's good habitat for them. They like the rocky place. Here's some pictures I took elsewhere. They're members of the goatsucker family. A little trivial information because they had the belief that they could fly in the barns at night and suckle on goats. So now they actually call them goatsuckers. But they really get insects. And then they can change colors to blend in. Interesting stuff. This is Gold Beach from the top of Signal Buttes. You can tell it's Gold Beach. You see that big warehouse that's right down by the water there. Butterflies. Butterflies like mud because they not only get the flower nectar, in order to complete their diet, they like to go in wet places, and they're in the mud, and they're getting the nutrients they need to fill out their diet. Here's Windy Valley. Beautiful place to hike. This is typical of that country because it is a serpentine soils, and the trees are, when they're serpentine, they're far apart. This is Collier Butte after the Collier Butte fire. If you look over here, you see the brownish coloration. That's from being burnt. It's shrouded in fog when I took that picture. Here's another picture a little later. Oh, look at that. There's Fred. And that's Collier Butte back there. And the reason why Collier Butte sticks out so sharp is because it's harder than the other rocks. So if you're in the southern part of the county and you can see it, you kind of know where you're at. That's why it's kind of a focus. We've actually climbed up to the top of it, so it's not as mysterious. Another hazard on the roads, so there's challenges getting up there, especially if you're the first in the spring. Here's this tree across the road, so of course, this guy here, Glenn, gets out, and there's Bill, and we cleared it out so we could drive through to the trailhead. This is not abnormal for the kinds of hazards. But believe me, if we get to a point where we can't go, we turn around and go somewhere else. We go back. We don't try to do it when we're not equipped. And here's the bear we saw this year. The fires have made it easier to see the bears because they don't have as much cover. This is El Capitan and Preston Peak. They're down in California. This picture was taken from Fishhook Mountain. Preston Peak is the 4th highest in the Siskiyous. You know, Mount Ashland is the highest. That's in the east, and this one's in the west. Dave is planning to take us right at the base of El Capitan and here into Young's Valley, due to his suggestion. It's called Young's Valley, it's below them. And a great interesting place. Okay, where to get hiking information? I've only got about 10 copies of this, but you'll be able to grab it if we run out.
You can also take a cell phone picture of it.
There you go. That's creativity. And see, aren't you glad you got a big crew? And she's just sitting out there in the back. Right? Okay. Basically, this is ranger stations. You want to stop there. These people are going to be very helpful. They have free stuff. I'm going to pass out some of the free stuff they give me. And I recommend that you want to find out the condition of what's going on. You ask them. They won't always know the conditions of everything, but at least they'll have some idea. And they do have long handouts, and we're going to pass out some of those.
Chrissy Field has a lot of trails.
Chrissy Field is another good place. There are other places that you can look up online. There's more places you can find out about the redwoods, of course, as you go further south. And so, but these are the main ones. And I actually decided to look up Samuel Boardman State Park, and sure enough, there's a brochure, and I got some copies of that. And here's it. Here's a copy of it. And this is kind of a faint red line. It shows, here we are, Brookings. Here's the college right here. About there. We're going to take a hike down this trail here, the Lone Ranch, down to the beach, and then we're going to come back. This Saturday, we're going to meet up at 9 o'clock right out here. You're invited. Not only are you invited, if you have any suggestions on where you want to go hiking, you probably won't have thought about it right now after I give you some of this information. You might say, well, that would be an interesting place, and how about that? And then I can plan next year's outings with that information. So I want you to get involved right away, and don't be intimidated if I start talking about flowers. You may ignore me. I have no problem with that, but I do that on my side too. Mostly we're doing hiking. We're out to enjoy what we can. I try to do interpretive hikes, in that talk about a little bit of history, a little bit about the trees, and a little bit about the plants and the geology. The borax mine is not right. We're going to talk about the borax mines. Fred's been on that. As a matter of fact, Fred and I are two of the people here that have worked on the trails in Samuel Boardman. We used to maintain them back when we were young. When was that? About 10 years ago? We don't do it anymore. They've hired some young people to do it in the summertime, which is probably better, because then they get a chance to do some work and earn some wages.
Learn about life.
Yeah, well, it's a good start for. Anyhow, this is about the best you're going to find out where are the trails. And it's a faint red line on there. You should be able to you can go online and get the brochure. That's how I got it. And then I just blew it up. And no, it isn't perfectly accurate. And there are side trails, and you want to be careful about side trails. Sometimes they'll lead you to a dead end or a place you don't want to go. So then you'll have to go back up to get on the main trail. Sometimes there are places you do want to go. Dave can lead that. That's like that. Discover the Rogue River Walk. This is also available online. This is a trail that we worked on. If you, it says that the trail builders, there's my name, and above it is Fred Caldwell. Just want you to know that Fred is really an old-time friend of mine. This shows the trail, and it's pretty good all the way through here to Huntley Park, but right in here, a slide has ruined it. And it just wasn't worth it to try to rebuild it because it was so steep that no one is really. So if you go into Orchard Bar, there's a nice loop out there, and you can walk from this access point all the way up to Huntley Park.
How far is that from here?
If you go up to Gold Beach, you turn right and past Jerry's Flat, there will be signs. And if you want to find out information about it, you can stop in the Visitor Center in Gold Beach.
Okay.
I have a few brochures that I made copies of, but it's not going to be enough for everybody. So take what you want, and if you want something, some more information, just write it down and say, come on our hike, and we'll have it next week, or next Saturday. Okay, here's Tahoe Dunes, down in California. This is me making a copy from a brochure that I got from down there a while ago. Once again, you see the red lines are the trails, and I have been on most of these trails. They're easy trails. In the summertime, they can really be mosquito-y. They have fascinating flowers in the springtime. And of course, we've done a lot of birding out there. It's really close in, easy to get to. Here's the other half of it. It gives you all kinds of...
You might mention the interpretive center there.
Yeah. I do on this, where to get more information on the bottom. If you're interested in going down to what Tahoe Dunes Stewards puts out a program, it gives you an email. Get on their email list if you're interested. Very good interpretive hikes. They bring these professors that are specialists in their own field. And it's really great to learn about, say, butterflies or birds or whatever their specialties, mushrooms. They do all kinds of things.